Okay, let's start tonight's meeting of the Sacramento City Council. Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you. Councilmember Kaplan.
Here.
Councilmember Dickinson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Talamontes.
Here.
Councilmember Pluckybaum.
Here.
Councilmember Maple.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Guerra.
Here.
Councilmember Jennings.
Here.
Councilmember Vang.
I'm here.
And Mayor McCarty.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Councilmember Maple, will you do the land acknowledgement?
Be my pleasure. Please stand if you are able. Please rise for the opening acknowledgments in honor of Sacramento's indigenous people and tribal lands. To the original people of this land, the Nisenan people, the Southern Maidu, Valley and Plains Miwok, Potwin Wintun peoples, and the people of the Wilton Rancheria, Sacramento's only federally recognized tribe. May we acknowledge and honor the Native people who came before us and still walk beside us today on these ancestral lands by choosing to gather today in the active practice of acknowledgement and appreciation for Sacramento's indigenous people's history, contributions, and lives. Remain standing, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Madam City Attorney, do you have a report out from closed session?
There's the council met in closed session to discuss 3 items, but there's nothing to report out at this time.
Thank you. So special presentation. So Mayor, our Grant High School Pacers are running a little bit late. Can we take item B first, which is a resolution for Robert Longer?
Of course. Vice Mayor Talamontes.
Thank you. I will actually turn it over to Deputy Chief Mike Taylor to speak, and then I will go next. Come on over. Or I guess I'll just, never mind. I'll just say, today we're doing a resolution for Robert Longer, and our fire department's going to explain why, but he's a hero in our neighborhood, and I would love our fire department just kind of tell us exactly what happened and why he deserves this resolution.
Yeah, for sure, we'll do that. I brought my distance glasses, so you guys look amazing. This is a little blurry, but I'll get through it. And I first want to start out with Robert. We're hiring. That would be, it's truly an honor to be here and acknowledge you. So I'll give you a little bit of a background. November 26, 2024, around 3 p.m., the Sacramento Fire Department responded to a reported structure fire at 3200 block of Normington Drive. And Robert, why don't you come up here with me? It's about you, I got my spotlight, yeah, so come on up. All right. So while responding, we got updates from our crews that there were 2 people trapped inside the house. 2 additional ambulances were added to the call with potential victims inside. On arrival, our crews were met with heavy fire conditions across the entire front of the house. Neighbors were reporting that 2 adults living in the house with possible mobility issues. At this point, Robert Longer had already assisted a male victim out of the house and was getting the female out as well. Robert reported using the doormat of the house on the front porch to shield himself from the intense heat. He made multiple entries into the house, only coming out to escape the smoke and grab another breath. Robert was able to pull the female victim outside on his own and reported to the crews who took over the advanced life support measures. Without the aid of Robert, things would have turned out a lot worse for sure. Robert single-handedly saved both victims while putting himself in harm's way. To put that into context, Robert, I think you probably call yourself an ordinary person and, probably just a really good neighbor. But, heroes are ordinary people who make themselves extraordinary. And that's what you did today on that day. So we want to appreciate you for that. And also, I'd like to just give you a token from the Sacramento Fire Department of your appreciation, our appreciation for all your efforts. And thank you. Yeah, be honored to be here.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few comments? Or next we have our our neighbor.
Stay there, Robert.
Yeah, Robert's stay there. Mr. Phillips.
I'll try to get through. If it hadn't been for Robert, my wife wouldn't have been there. She's still got a long road to go. She's in the burn unit at UCD, but thanks to this guy here, she'll be able to come home someday. And thanks to the fire department, too, and the EMTs for getting us both care. Much appreciated. And thank you for honoring him. He's a nice guy.
And Robert, would you like to say anything? He didn't ask to be acknowledged. Everybody wanted to talk to him, and Robert just said, I did what I needed to do for my neighbor, and I just felt like this was very worthy of a recognition because he really became a hero.
Well, I was, like you said, not expecting this, so thank you. I appreciate it. But I would just hope that if any of us were in a similar situation, even though it's probably not advisable, but that we would try to do the same for our fellow neighbors. Rob and Helen are amazing people and good friends and good neighbors, and it's all about community and, you know, taking care of each other. And, you know, in that situation, obviously you don't think. I obviously didn't think. I just ran across the street in my slippers. But you know, when there's a chance to help out, I guess we just do what we have to do in the moment, including grabbing a doormat and putting it over your head. But no, I'm just glad that Rob is okay, Helen is on the mend, and that's all that matters. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, and thank you, Robert Longer, for being an outstanding Sacramentan. We always knew that you would step up and, like the Deputy Chief said, an ordinary individual doing an extraordinary act, and thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I'm in my feelings. We're going to go down there and present you with this resolution. Robert.
We all go down there?
Want to come down, Mayor?
Can I stay up here? Or do I have to go down there? Come on in. Be on the end.
Do you want us all down or? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Guys do. No, I don't. Stand aside. Good. Have it. Here. Where is that? That's the house. Oh my God. I would not know
All right, guys, right here. 1, 2, 3.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
I'll introduce the item. Okay, we have one more special presentation tonight, but before we do that, Roger, just want to get changed. I have no idea how I received the team hoodie, but they gave it to me. So I said I'd be honored to wear it at the ceremony here at City Hall, and they said, you better wear it. I said, you better believe it, we'll wear it. So I know Councilmember Dickinson's going to talk about the outstanding young men here who won the second state championship in 3 years, making this part of Sacramento really proud. And it was an exciting night 2 months ago. The only thing that was a bummer is the people of Sacramento couldn't see it, because I know you had to go down there to Fullerton, play an away game. But some of us got updates that night, and we saw the score all the way at the end, and we're super proud of you young men. Grant Pacers outstanding. Councilmember Dickinson?
If I can use the
Yeah.
podium, we're going to do that. In the house.
Okay.
Gather round. We're going to do this right. Brought the trophy. I love it. Love it. All right.
Okay.
So don't turn that 2-minute thing on, okay?
No, we got it.
They got you on that camera.
Well, this is a spectacular way to start the new year, celebrating the championship of the Grant High Pacers. Pacers for life. Yes, sir. Pacers for life. And the mayor alluded to it, but what a remarkable season. And it was obviously capped off by the win to take the championship, the 35-28 win, come from ahead and then behind, right, Coach? But you know what? The whole run of the season, nobody expected you guys to be anywhere near a state championship this year. And now you're standing here, state champs. What an accomplishment. And what a run through the playoffs. A different hero every week. 1 week we can't make kicks, the next week we win the game. With a last-second kick, huh?
Oh.
Right here, he's right
there. Who's the kicker?
Kickers are always hiding out. What a tremendous year. And so it is an incredible pleasure to share this moment with all of you. Great, as the mayor said, great young men. And you know what? They're state champs. They're great football players. They're great people. They are great students. Team average 3.3 GPA. So I can't be more excited, more proud to be able to present this resolution. You know, this resolution is actually a little bit unique, you all, because it is actually agreed to by, if you ever watch this, you'll know how important and unusual this is. It's actually agreed to by all 9 members of the council. We're also, I want to make sure we also recognize our Twin Rivers trustee, Chris Jefferson, who's here. And the stadium announcer for the Pacers, Greg Jefferson, is here. I spent a little time in the press box one night. I picked the right game. The night game where it all rained on you guys. I was in the press box, so that was smart on my part, at least. But you know what? You could say this is unusual, but in fact, it's a habit. It's a habit. And we love this habit of winning the state championships, bringing home this trophy year after year after year. And, you know, besides the young men who deserve great credit, of course, the coaching staff. Yes. The coaching staff. Led by co-head coach, Coach Reed. And with the council's indulgence, Mayor, I'd like to give Coach Reed a chance to say
Please
a few
do.
words. So,
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is an honor. I mean, only team in this area obviously bestowed this honor to be here. We really appreciate it. I'm really grateful for this honor, for the program. I mean, our community, everything. Thank you. for having us. I mean, these young men put all the work in. I mean, we're just the ones who put them in the position. They have to go out there and play and do the work in the classroom and on the field. And, you know, as it was said by Councilman, that 3.3 GPA is probably our greatest achievement. That's something that goes untalked about in sports, but these are student athletes, and they definitely live up to that for sure. You know, they pretty much traveled 1,200 miles. Huh? What did I say? Did I miss something? They traveled 1,200 miles for this playoff run, 3 come from behind victories. I couldn't be prouder. Coaching staff obviously did amazing. Group I never would replace with anybody. The district took care of us throughout everything. So this is a total community effort and a totally community celebration. And I thank you guys for that very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The G's the real deal. So, Coach, I want to present this resolution signed by all my colleagues on the City Council, and it recognizes the achievement of this year, and it is that something we hope will hang in the maybe, you know, the appropriate spot. I was going to say the locker room, but maybe a little more public view, you know. And we're going to look forward to it to a lot more. Now, one other thing I want to point out, there may be others who want to make some comments, but Councilmember Jennings has something you all can take a look at and maybe think about, you know, getting a line on now. So you want to...
Don't let him not rain.
Well, this is really not a time to talk about my accomplishments, but it is a time to talk about yours, and you have made this community proud for so many years. I can't thank you enough for bringing home a state championship. And so the only thing I'll add to that is there's nothing less important than to score at halftime, and you showed that by coming back 3 times from being behind and then end up winning the game. They say there's nothing less important in life than to score at halftime, because that doesn't predict what the outcome will be. So this victory, while it is sweet, and I want you to savor it, and I want you to enjoy it, and I want you for the rest of your life to brag on it, this victory is just one step along a long step of going to college, winning another championship, going into the NFL if you choose to go that route, to another championship, having your home and your families where you can win championships in your community, in your home, and with your family. So this is just one step along the way, and we are really, really proud of you on this step. And I just want to let you know that. Congratulations.
So he's got a little bobble on his finger.
Yeah, tell him about that. Come on now. Tell these young men what you got.
What is that, Councilmember Jennings?
So this is a Super Bowl ring from the 1976 Raiders. None of you were born at that time. And it's the first Super Bowl that we ever won. Once we won Super Bowl number 11, and once we won that, then we went on to win Super Bowl number 15, and then again Super Bowl number 18. So sometimes it just you got to get started, right? And for many of you, this may be your first championship, but it's not your last.
That's right.
Right?
Great coach.
Well, and you know what? You reminded me. I played basketball at Cal, and our coach at halftime always said they don't hand out any prizes at halftime. Yeah. So you guys demonstrated why that's true. So I don't know if there are others who would like to make comments. I certainly want to offer that opportunity.
Vice Mayor Talamantes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, go Pacers. You guys are the best. Congratulations. Woo!
And I like your colors a lot, blue and gold.
Yeah. Councilmember
Right.
Maple.
So let me
one second,
present
Roger.
this to you, Coach, on behalf of the council, for the entire team. And you know what? All the parents, all the fans, all the people in Del Paso Heights and throughout North Sacramento who love you and follow you and root for you, come hell or high water. No matter what. The community is with you, and you're with the community. So thank you very much, and we'll take a picture. Come on.
Right here, maybe? I'm gonna have to do a wide angle. Okay, let's see. Can we get you guys just a little bit more in? There you go. There you go. Okay.
All right, everyone on the
All right, I'm feeling good. We're done.
Yeah, this is great. It's a great. Can it all be like this?
All right.
Enjoy it while it lasts? Yeah. Yes. Well, thanks again, Coach. And Coach, we'll see you back here next year, the next championship, right? All right. Okay, that was certainly fun. So let's move on with the consent calendar, Madam Clerk.
So our consent calendar is items 1 through 6. I do have a read to the record. We are continuing item 1 to January 28th. per the council member recommendation. And I do have one speaker on the consent calendar. Would you like to take that?
Yes.
Thank you. Lambert on item 3. So while Mr. Davis comes up, are there council members that would like to make comments or pull any items? Seeing none, Mr. Davis is speaking on item number 3.
Yes, it's ironic that number 3 is Marysville Boulevard and Grand Avenue. That's Del Paso Heights. And it talks about, first of all, whoever came up with this for those teenagers, I was so glad to hear them announce that their grade point averages was 3.3. There's a lot of talent there, a lot of talent. And they know who I am too. They actually came over to me and wanted me to get in the picture. I said, this is your moment. You know, you should get everything. There's a saying called, to the victor go the spoils. And I said last time I was here, when I was looking at this on number 3, when I was growing up there on the corner of Marysville and Grand Avenue, that used to be 2 gas stations. And they're talking about EPA. So I would like to, hopefully Mr. Dickerson, when he has a town hall meeting, to explain that. I've already studied the report, and it was a company in Rancho Cordova. But these young people, they did more than win the state. They won the city 3 years in a row. That was a three-peat. And they only lost by 2 points last year, and I was at the game, and there was some peculiar things. And for them to recover from that and get back to it is just really incredible. Also, they should get tickets to go to the Kings games. They love the Kings, these young people. And also, they should have banquets. They should have rallies. As you saw, they have different nationalities, different cultures. They should have different food. And 17 seconds left. I mean, we are literally proud of those teenagers because they won every game from behind. And you don't see that even from adults.
Thank you for your comments. Mayor, I have no more speakers on the consent calendar.
Thank you. No council members supposed to comment
No
or pull any
council
items?
I'll move consent.
Okay.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any noes or abstentions? Hearing none, unanimous.
Thank you. So we move to item 7, which is a public hearing. Corporate Way, Greenhaven Self-Storage, P24-014. This item was noticed on January 10th, 2025, passed for publication on January 14th, 2025, and published on January 17th, 2025.
Good evening. Please proceed.
Good evening, council members and Mayor McCarty. My name is Angel Anguiano with your Community Development Department. Today I'm here to present on agenda item number 7, Corporate Way, Greenhaven Self-Storage, file number P24014. The request is for the construction of a 3-story mini storage building on a vacant 2.27 acre parcel in the office business zone, executive airport overlay, and Greenhaven Executive Park Plan Unit Development. The applicant is requesting approval of the following entitlements: a rezone of 2.27 acres from the office business zone to the general commercial zone, a resolution amending the Greenhaven Executive Park Plan Unit Development and schematic map to redesignate the 2.27 acres from office to commercial, updating commercial signage allowances, and other text amendments to clean up old procedures and standards. A conditional use permit to establish a mini storage facility in the general commercial zone, and site plan and design review to construct a 3-story building and associated site improvements. The project is before you this evening, Council, because of the requested rezone from office business to general commercial. On December 12th, 2024, the Planning and Design Commission heard the item and voted to forward a recommendation of approval to the Council this evening. As part of the public hearing process, public hearing notices were sent out to surrounding property owners, and staff has not received any additional correspondence after the publication of the staff report. Staff has evaluated the proposed project and recommends approval of the requested entitlements because the proposed mini storage facility is consistent with the 2040 general plan, which encourages a variety of professional and service-oriented uses to complement existing offices, commercial, and residential sectors. The project promotes key policies by promoting compact urban footprint, providing services to both residential and commercial sectors, and addressing a community need for additional storage space in the neighborhood and the city at large. That concludes my presentation, and staff is available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Councilmember Jennings.
Is there public testimony?
I have no public commenters on this agenda item.
Thank you. I want to open and close the public hearing and move staff recommendation. The property is governed by the executive airport overlays and limits the use of low-intensity development like storage. The applicant has proposed a fully enclosed facility that is limited hours from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday. It has an on-site manager that lives on the property as well. The project is set back 26 feet from the street and has drought-tolerant and native landscaping to soften the impact of the building. There were 2 letters in opposition submitted by adjacent property owners. The letters submitted in opposition have a detailed response from staff and how those concerns were addressed. I recommend and suggest that my colleagues support this project. It'll be a great project for District 7.
Thank you. Councilmember Kaplan.
I will second Councilmember Jennings. I thought I heard him open and close the public hearing on this, and so I will second it.
Okay. No further discussion from council members. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. 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 Any noes or abstentions? Hearing none, unanimous.
So, Mayor, that concludes the business of our meeting. We move to council comments, ideas, and questions, and AB 123 reports.
Okay. Councilmember Maple.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few fun announcements for this upcoming week or so. First is on Saturday, January 25th, the Lunar New Year celebration with Asian Resources Incorporated at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that's this coming weekend. Oh, I'm sorry, and that's in your district, but I'm here, that's probably on your list. Just shouting this out, District 6, fun event, but right on our border. So please come out and celebrate, and I'm sure Councilman McGarry will be there. Great. And then Saturday, February 8th, we'll be hosting a community cleanup through our office. We'll start at 10 a.m. and it'll go until noon. We are partnering with Clean California to host our quarterly litter pickup event. So we're going to be picking up along Meadowgate and Munson Drive in the Pollock Ranch community. So if you'd like to come join us, we have it on our social media, our newsletter, and on our website. You can sign up. We'll provide tools and gloves and bags and donuts and coffee. All fun stuff. Come and clean up. And then our last announcement, and this is something I'm really, really excited about. Actually, this came to be after I received a woman who reached out to my office from Sac State who had been working on a documentary on a woman named Verna Canson, who was a civil rights icon in Sacramento, and she lived in the Hollywood Park area, owned a home there. And so we learned about her life. We learned about some of the resources that the Center for Sacramento History had provided to the students in the making of this film and this documentary. And so we thought, well, it would be really great if we could show this documentary and do a panel discussion with some leaders. And so that's exactly what we're doing. We'll be hosting it at Sacramento City College. It's a documentary film about Verna Canson's life and what she's done in terms of civil rights in Sacramento. You'll learn about the students who made the documentary, and then we'll have a panel discussion with some wonderful leaders. So I hope you'll join us on February 26th, Sacramento City College at 6 p.m. And again, you can find all of that on our social media and on our website. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Dickinson.
Thank you, Mayor. We got a lot going on in our part of town. I wanted to have everyone mark their calendars for Mardi Gras on the Boulevard 2.0, which is going to be March 2nd. And we're going to bring the spirit of New Orleans to life right here in North Sacramento. It's going to be a full day of good times, music, great food. So please put that on your calendar, come out and join the party. I wanted to also mention that Sacramento County is having an economic development strategic plan update and a community meeting on January 30th. It's a virtual meeting, so if you're interested in the potential developing anywhere in Sacramento County for investing in businesses and activities. That's a meeting not to miss. We also have the door open in North Sacramento for grants for business improvements and property improvements, grants up to as much as $240,000 in some cases. The application period is open. It closes February 28th. If you want more information on that, that's on the city, full explanation on the city website. And finally, I wanted to, in the upcoming category, mention that transit occupancy tax grants are going to be made by the Board of Supervisors. The application period is now open for those online. You can, and will run through February 14th. It's a competitive process. You can learn about the eligibility and funding elements online as well with the County of Sacramento. So that's a good source, especially for youth-related and other public service programs to get some much-needed funding. And I just wanted to conclude by saying we had a terrific time and turnout yesterday, beginning at Grant High School. Councilmember Telemontes was there and joined us in marching, as did Councilmember Kaplan and her daughters. It was a great day with a resource fair and some listening sessions about community issues. So, as I said at the outset, it's all going on in North Sacramento and District 2. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Vang.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a few announcements. First, really just want to thank everyone that came out this past weekend. In particular, I want to give a shout out to Savante Clark and also Blessed Child Association for hosting the 5th annual caravan throughout Meadowview and South Sacramento. It was an honor to be part of that. And then just a few announcements. Just wanted to let folks know that we do have a date for our annual District 8 Community Conversation where constituents and residents and youth and our families can learn more about what's happening right now in our neighborhoods in terms of development, completed projects, ongoing projects, and projects that's in the pipeline. Really great opportunity also to share your ideas and solutions in terms of making sure that District 8 continues to be an amazing district. So want to let folks know that is happening on March 15th from 10 to 1. Breakfast and lunch will be provided at Union House Elementary at 7850 Deer Creek. So look out for information. We'll be sending that out to all our trusted messenger on our social media platforms. And then lastly, just wanted to let folks know that as of December 29th, the MLK Library, located in Meadowview, is actually closed for renovation and is scheduled to reopen in 2026 with fresh new look and upgraded features. And while the branch is closed, there are going to be alternatives, programs, mobile library stops at the Sam and Bonnie Pinnell Community Center. So just wanted to let folks know that the mobile library stops are on Tuesdays and Thursday. On Tuesday, it's from 10 to 2 p.m. and on Thursday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. And I know that while 2026 seemed a little far away, I know that we're still going to be missing services in the Meadowview area. So my staff and I are doing everything we can to keep the project moving along so that we can open the MLK Library as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Jennings.
Mayor, if there are no more announcements, I have an adjourned in memory of.
I do in my announcements first.
Please.
Yeah. Yes, I have 3 announcements. My first, AB 1234 reports. I was able to participate in the U.S. Conference of Mayors annual meeting this past week, talking about housing, immigration, transportation funding, and of course, how to work with the new administration. 2 announcements. For the council. This is a fun announcement to the council and maybe the public if you ever get a chance to meet with your council members. Up on the 5th floor, the mayor used to have a satellite office. Then it was the mayor's library. Now it's the mayor and council conference room. So all the council members can utilize that for your meetings with constituents, whoever you'd like. So we'll have a first come, first serve sign up process for that. And then lastly, I want to give an update on the city manager search process. The last 2 weeks, we've spoken about our interim city manager, and grateful for the 2 weeks at the helm with Lainey Milstein right here. But we do have a search process. Just wanted to report that the council did have a roster of approved executive firms that we had on standby. Last week, our HR director, with the help of our city clerk, requested these firms to submit cost proposals and respond to basic process questions. We'll be agendizing this item for a future council meeting to discuss the next steps, the process, and the recruitment steps to provide more direction to city staff. Thank you. Councilmember Jennings.
So Mayor, if I may, we have 6 speakers for public comments for matters not on the agenda. May I take those before? Thank you. Lambert, then Rev, then Tim Poole, Keon Bliss, Ella Roberts, and then Jeffrey Tardigia.
Yes, I'm going to continue with the Grant Pacers because it's really, I mean, I played on some spectacular teams too at Grant. I'm a 1976 Grant alumni and tremendously proud of those teenagers. I know their parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. That's how far I go back. And I hope that Mr. Dickerson and even the mayor meets with me, because while they were going viral all over California, winning championships, To the Bay and Back Cheesecakes was so motivated by what I was watching that we stepped our game up. We stepped it up in a real way. There's some millennials that follow me, and they like cheesecake. And they're different nationalities, different races, both sexes. And of course, the Davis family, I couldn't have got here without them. And everything clicked at the same time during the holidays, everything. And I hope Mr. Dickerson and the mayor and whoever else is interested would meet with us, because not only are we going to hire some of those young people, but I think they should get job applications. They should get summer jobs. If they got a 3.3 grade average, they should know how to fill out an application. They should get internship, King's tickets, banquets, parades. Grant High School has one of the best auditoriums in the city. I know it was because I went there, and it's up to date. You should have a rally there. Alan Warren used to have rallies, and he would have cheesecake for anybody who walked in there free. Well, it was free for them. He paid me. So I hope you reach out to us, because we are viral in all of California now.
Next speaker is Rev, then Tim Poole.
Blessings to you all. Many of y'all know me. Nice to see you, Mr. Mayor. We did meet, as I said, years ago when you're a councilman. Ever since then, I've been on these streets trying to think about how I can help end homelessness. Then I got that bump that y'all, not you personally, that y'all stole $20 billion from the homeless fund. That's crazy money. That's ending the homeless of here from all of California at the minimum. Because the fast number count, what's 10 times 100,000? Anybody? It's 1 million. My homeless people make $10 a day at 100,000 of them. That's $1 million a day. That's 365 in 1 year. That's 730 in 2 years. That's 1.4 billion in 3 years. They can end homelessness themselves if they stop getting harassed like I get. Like I say, I live on these streets, and I try to show you my tickets right now, Ms. McCarthy. Somebody need to pay those. Rev is just out here, and I don't deserve to have to pay that, because I'm always taking a homeless person to the hospital when they need, because the ambulance ain't fast enough for me. If they holler in front of me, they getting in the back of my limo, and I got to take you where you got to go. So I need real help out there. I'll be doing things with the youth, okay? I'm praying to work with this gentleman behind me. Call Let's Ride Together, Stop Dying Together. Pick them up from the north, south, east, and west. Take them on a little cruise around the city. Stop off in one little amusement park or whatever you got out here for them to do. Entertain them. And like the gentleman said, give them a job, no need to put them to work. Get a lemonade stand, make it happen. So it's different things that we need to do with the community, of the children, my homeless people, and it's just driving me nuts. But I know what God's got me doing because I know it'll work. So Homeless for Heaven Community Organization is a nonprofit, and I do need help. I do need assistance because I'm not doing this by myself. It don't make no sense, especially when money keeps getting swiped from up under everything I want to try to do. I should have just a check coming every week or whatever so I can really patrol the community, trying to fight for everything I possibly can. God bless you all.
Thank you for your comments. Tim Pool, then Keon Bliss.
Peace and blessings to the council, to the new mayor. My name is Timothy Poole. I'm the CEO of Hooked on Fishing, Not on Violence here in Sacramento. And I've never got a grant. I've wrote grants, and we had many grant writers come, and it is almost like I'm getting robbed because I have to pay these grant writers to write these grants, right? And I'm not getting them. And so this last grant was the Children's Fund. And I had every piece of paper and documented, signed. My I's were dotted, my T's were crossed, but I came across something that I never would have thought, and that's the audit. I've never got any money, so I could never get audited because all of the money that I put into my organization comes out of my pocket. I'm also a DJ on 97.5 KDEE. And I have a youth component on the grown folks station. It's called Hip Hop After Dark, where we give our young folks a voice to find out what they need and how we can assist, right? And so I'm up here asking, how does one get into the city? I'm also a vendor of the city. I did that paperwork. I've done all the paperwork. I talked to outgoing Mayor Steinberg, and he alluded me to go this direction, that direction, and I went them directions. I had meetings with him, and I still am fumbling the ball. Me, myself, I'm here for the youth. I'm here to save our youth. I'm a crisis intervention worker that goes out to every shooting in our city. I'm a support team along with Greg King and Always Knocking, Hooked on Fishing, Not on Violence, also partners with the BCLC on these crimes that are happening in our city. And I'm just trying to figure out, how do I fit in my city?
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Our next speaker is Keon Bliss, then L.R. Roberts.
Do you want to know why people like me oftentimes show up here so angry or just critical of you all as a city government and management team? Because most of you don't seem to respect your constituents beyond the size of their wallet or the respectability of their tones. You certainly don't treat us like co-equal stakeholders in government, and it shows in how you intentionally choose to bury controversial decisions in dozens of pages of staff reports, schedule consequential votes at times when most of us are working our day jobs, and antagonize us with frequent rule changes and inconsistent enforcement of the rules in how we participate in these conversations. It shows as paternalism, which is a key trait of white supremacy culture that permeates every aspect of city government here, where people in power often don't think it is important or necessary to understand the viewpoint or experience of those for whom they are making decisions for, oftentimes labeling us for for whom they are making decisions as unqualified intellectually, emotionally, or spiritually or physically. It's the same argument in day that Martin Luther King Jr. had to deal with back in the day that we always blithely support. Oftentimes a whitewashing of his history, imagining the dreams that he did. But we oftentimes forget that a majority of white Americans back in the day hated Martin Luther King, particularly for his anti-capitalist statements, his anti-militarism, his anti-imperialism, as well as his criticisms of poverty and racism. I want to leave you all with a quote today that oftentimes doesn't get brought up. Peace is not merely the absence of some negative force, war, tensions, confusion, but it is the presence of some positive force, justice, goodwill. If peace means accepting second-class citizenship, I don't want it.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Thank you for your comments. Please take your seat, Mr. Bliss.
Complacently adjusted to a deadening status quo.
Mr. Bliss, your time is complete. Please take your seat. Mr. Bliss, please take your seat. Your time is complete.
Humiliated and segregated.
Mr. Bliss, please take your seat. L.R. Roberts is our next speaker. Mr. Bliss, your time is complete. Please take your seat.
Also, check how you treat us, even when we.
Please take your seat. Our next speaker is L.R. Roberts, then Jeffrey Tartagia will be our final speaker.
I'm L.R. Roberts. I've known Roger and Kevin a long time, and I'm in Katie's area. So I'm suggesting 3 ordinance changes. I got a ticket because my Jeep was a little out of date, and the guy was very nice to me and gave me a ticket. But if a homeless person gets a ticket, they often throw away their ID, which is really expensive nowadays, their baby pictures, their medical records, their tents, their clothes, everything they own. And it counts in the budget as homeless services. So number one, if I'm out like at the grocery store and I'm talking to some citizen about this, they're appalled that our employees throw away people's stuff. So that's absolutely not okay. There should be an ordinance against that, and it sure shouldn't count in the budget as homeless services. My understanding is also if you arrest a homeless person, it shows up in the budget as homeless services. So years ago during, I'm still doing the dinner project, and we're feeding people leftover from Occupy, and we were sitting there waiting for one of the occupiers to have his court case come up at criminal court. It was full of homeless people who had tickets for staying on the light rail without a ticket. And when you arrest homeless people, it counts as homeless services. That's another ordinance. This should not count in the budget as homeless services. And the last ordinance we changed, that we should change, is now, I'm not saying it tonight, but over the years, and I've been coming to these meetings a long time, the old city managers would sit there and talk to the mayor, and the mayor wouldn't be looking at people out talking in the public. They'd be listening to the city manager. Now, unless it's a really short little thing, that should never happen again. So there should be an ordinance against that too. Those are my 3 proposals.
Thank you for your comments. Jeffrey Tartagia is our final speaker.
Good evening, City Council. Phil, I'm still waiting for a coffee break with you to find out what in the world's going on. But I will tell you this morning at 10 o'clock, I went down J Street and I found more than 20 people all on the street. Homeless people. There needs to be a better effort of what's going on and what's happening. A couple of Mondays ago, apparently, the city instructed the sheriff's department to remove the campers on Roseville Road. Apparently, a number of them were damaged. Don't know with this, but this is why, as point in time count, and why I have asked through the mayor, and now the new mayor, can we for November, December, January, and February know what is going on for encampments, what is going on for the homeless, so that next year in January, when we do the point in time count again, we have a more accurate account than last year. Cal Matters says that California had 3% of the homeless go down, whereas the rest of the states had 18% go up. I don't know whether that's a valid statistic or it's things whether we're doing something right or whether we are still figuring out what we're doing wrong. I just came from the County Disability Advisory Committee to make sure that there was compatibility on a number of your centers, both north and south, that they were all ADA compatible. I see I have only 14 seconds left, so I will also turn around and say again the comment of, please, Mayor, get items not on the agenda to be not the last item on the agenda.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Thank you for your comments. Mayor, I have no more business to come before the council. We have an adjourned memory.
Yes, we do have adjourned memory. We're going to start with Mr. Jennings.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'm going to ask my colleagues to join me in this adjourn in memory. This is a a gentleman that I've known for many years. He's an icon in the city of Sacramento. He's a change agent. He's a family man. He's a businessman. His name is Sonny Chong. And Sonny Chong, if you know him, I'm going to ask you to join me in telling me the one or two things that you know about Sonny. And I'll tell you mine first, so I can get this done. But when American Leadership Forum came to Sacramento, and I think we were on class number
27.
27, 28, 29, that's right, 29. We're in class number 29. Sonny and I had the opportunity to be in class number 2 together. And Sonny was one of those that was in that class that very quiet, sat back most of the time and listened to everything we said, but he always put us back on track in order to make sure that the meeting went well and that we accomplished the task that we had. And so I know Sonny from American Leadership Forum since class 2 all the way back 27 years ago. And so that's how I know him. So I just want to kind of open up the floor for how you may know him. And I do want to let you know also that his services will be at the Cal Expo in Sacramento in building numbers C and D, and that's on April the 12th at 12 p.m. from 12 to 3 p.m. So those will be his celebration of life services. But I just want to kind of open it up for my colleagues to tell me how you know Sonny Chong.
Yeah, I'll go next. Oh, I didn't know if the mayor was going to cue because there's a few of us. Okay, I can go next. Okay. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Councilmember Jennings, for kicking this off. You know, when we heard about the death of Sonny Chong, it was felt through the entire community. Received text messages, calls. It's a deep loss, not just for our community at large, but especially for the Asian American community. I first met Sonny actually when I was a young HIP organizer, a HIP Hmong Innovating Politics, and he wanted to learn more about the work we were doing in South Sacramento to organize parents, and actually invited me to a Capitol meeting, which he was involved with. And so that's the first time that I met Sonny. But I know he's been an incredible pillar in the API community, a trailblazer, and always supporting so many young leaders throughout our region. And so it is felt throughout the entire region, and we're going to miss him dearly. And just really want to take this moment to send our condolences and our love to his entire family. And so thank you so much, Mayor and Councilmember Jennings, for adjourning tonight's meeting in memory of Sonny Chong.
Roger.
Thanks, Coach, for this opportunity. I got the pleasure of meeting Sonny in 2009. Don't ask me what I was doing, but what I do remember is when you met Sonny, you couldn't not like him because he could basically pull any detail out of you, and you felt comfortable telling that to Sonny. What I do remember is him saying, "Come on, Lisa, I want to bring you to this event. Come on over to Capitol. Come over to the Lunar New Year. Come to this event. Let me show you around and help you." And I've had the pleasure of knowing I could always call Sonny and have somebody who will listen to me and provide honest, thoughtful feedback, but always the encouragement of there was never a problem that was too hard. There was never something you couldn't do, because Sonny would be there to tell you, well, yes, you can. You have to believe in yourself. I believe in you. So it is a devastating loss to our community and the leadership he's had with Capitol and within the Asian community. I will miss not giving him random calls and asking his advice, because he always had good advice to give.
I can't tell you exactly when I first met Sonny, but I think it was in the early 90s. And over the years, we did a countless number of things together, but I can hardly think of anybody who better embodied the AAPI community than Sonny. Sonny was omnipresent. If there was an event, Sonny was there. If there was something in need of an assisting hand, Sonny was there. He was a dentist by profession. with patients who adored him for good reason, because his talent went well beyond his dentistry skills. I don't know that we all realize how many things Sonny was part of. He spent many years as a member of the Cal Expo Board of Directors. He was a leader in the Sacramento and Sac State's University Foundation. He was a longtime member of the Sacramento Outreach Community Advisory Board for the Sheriff's Department with the county. He was instrumental in the Chinese American Council of Sacramento, and the list goes on. But the lasting memory I will always carry with me of Sonny, who will be missed dearly by everyone in this community who knew him, is his demeanor, his upbeat character, his can-do attitude. There was, I think, as Councilmember Kaplan was referring to, there was nothing that Sonny didn't think we couldn't do. And there was no barrier too great, no hill too high to build a better, stronger, more united community if we just focused on it. I think what reflected that most strongly of all, at least in my experience, was the establishment of Capitol. And when Capitol was established in the late 90s, there were lots of AAPI groups, but very little unity among them. And Sonny, through sheer, not only force of personality, but persistence and dedication, overcame some of the more natural divisions, pulled people together in the API community, got them around the same table, and created an organization that became a touchstone. If you were involved in civic activities, if you were involved in political activities, if you were part of local, state, or federal government in Sacramento, in this region, you went to Capitol. You went to Capitol. It was perhaps the most influential organization or coalition of organizations that has been ever established and sustained. It's certainly in my experience. It's hard to imagine how any set of people will fill the role in the shoes that Sonny had. And we can only hope that there will be those who follow in his footsteps. But the legacy he leaves is truly one that will rarely, if ever, be matched. I counted him as a close personal friend, and will miss him deeply.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Guerra.
Thank you, Mayor. Don't want to repeat the eloquentness of Councilman Dickinson. I had the opportunity to meet Sonny as well through Sac State's Foundation, and watching him raise money and opportunity and helping the university grow. Very much appreciated as an alum and also someone engaged with the campus. But what I found more striking was when I got to know him in his role in Capitol when I worked for the chairman of the Asian Pacific Islander Legislative Caucus. And the ability for him to be able to bring so many community leaders and nonprofits that many times were I wouldn't say fighting over the same resources, but there was a lot of overlap. And for him to be able to convene them and to unite them in a way that could recognize their individual need, but also encourage them to better coordinate and collaborate was something that we will definitely miss in a huge gap in our community. And I think that anybody who went to the Capitol meetings, I looked through how many emails I've had over the years from the Capitol calendar, and it's one where a lot of time was taken by him to think about how we work better as a unified Sacramento. And thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate the adjourned memory here.
The thing I remember most about Sonny is his smile. I don't know if that's required when you're a dentist, but like the guy had a 10,000 watt smile. And it just made you, it was so warm and inviting and optimistic. You know, it made you feel seen and heard and empowered and welcome. And it was really just the way about him, his presence of just inspiring all of us to be our best selves and do better together. He will be missed, and we would all do well to be even a little bit like Sonny in that way.
Well said, Councilmember. I too want to adjourn in memory of Sonny Chong and to share a few comments about him. He was a legend here in Sacramento, and it was alluded to in an obituary a few days ago that he was the unofficial API mayor of Sacramento. But he was so much more than that. He was involved, as Mayor Pro Tem said, in the foundation at Sac State. He served for several terms on the board of directors for Cal Expo. He loved that affiliation. And his service, I'll just note, it's not a service, it's a celebration of his life. And I think it's important that it's a 3-hour celebration. So we put crystal clear on that date on April the 12th from noon till 3. It's going to be a long, nice celebration of his life and how many people he touched. He was born in San Francisco, came here to Sacramento in the 80s after he got his license to be a dentist, served many people, always smiling, always in a good mood. As you noted, Roger, he founded Capitol in 1987, and 1997. I think I met him several years later, your question, Councilmember Jennings, when I was a young 31-year-old running for city council. Someone told me to go meet him. He's important in the community. So I went and met with him. And he said, I want you to meet my brother, Jerry. And so we went and met with him. And he said, I want you to come the next week at, I don't know, some godly hour at the My Sister's House March or something like that. It was a race. So I met them there, and he told me about, like you said, Councilmember Dickinson, all the API groups. And what his role trying to do is bring people together so the API groups could speak in one voice. Because historically, API community has been kind of run by a couple subsets, and he wanted to make sure that we had a broader voice. So we talked about the Southeast Asian community, other voices, the Filipino community, Indian community. So he was certainly, a big piece. But he was so involved in so many other issues. I remember when there was attacks on LGBT rights, he was up there standing and speaking up with that community. When there was issues with the Latino community, African American community, he made sure that the API community was there at the table, at the press conference, speaking up for all of Sacramento. He would be speaking up today when the fears are about what's going to happen to our immigrant community throughout Sacramento and California. So he certainly will be missed. I know he was a mentor to so many. His mentee called me on December 24th, Stephanie Wynn, our assembly member, who told me that he had died that day, and I was just in shock. He wasn't ill, nothing. It was just only sudden. His daughter found out that he had passed away that day, and it just is a reminder to us, the grace of God. But he did leave us, 7 decades strong, left his mark in the city of Sacramento. He is leaving behind not only his brother Jerry, but his daughter Kimberly and his son Stephen. And we want to adjourn in his memory and hopefully be there to celebrate his life on the 12th of April. Thank you. With that, we're adjourned.